What's happening, you guys? Your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. So, happy Halloween, everybody. What's going on, everybody? So, I decided to come along here and talk some basketball with y'all to this evening. So, let me see who's in the chat here. Oh my God, D Man Jr. See, I knew D Man Jr. was gonna be on that BS, man. You always gonna be on that dang BS, aren't you, D Man? Hmm? I'll tell you what. You keep on with this BS, man, you're gonna get some of this. truly on is it truly chosen 4541. What's good, brother? He said Bruce City Brawler Bus is on the move. Listen, bro. Enjoy the little thing you got going with the Milwaukee Bucks, because after this all said and done, y'all not going nowhere. So, but hey, oh my God, Sheldon crazy ass. you, Sheldon, you of all people are gonna sit around here and say all that crazy nonsense, man. Let me tell you something. You keep this up with me, I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start putting you on timeout, just like how you do to me every single time around these YouTube streets. You crazy fool. So yeah. So today I just wanted to discuss about what I've been seeing in basketball this the first 2 weeks of the season. And my Chicago Bulls are undefeated right now. At least at this point right now, they're 5-0, and yeah, so far so good, as I must say. Um, Obviously, I gotta watch over these kids because they out here in the neighborhood, doing the trick or treating stuff. So if I had to step out for a moment, just let y'all know that's what's going on. But let me say this though, right now. The players that have been impressing me this year, to be honest with you, is Victor Wembanyama from the Spurs. I mean, this guy right here is in his third year in the league, and he's already putting up monster stats. And then also another guy that has been impressive to me is VJ Abercrombie from the Philadelphia 76ers. That young kid right now, outside of obviously with Dylan Harper, they've been impressed me very, very well. So yeah, Victor Wembanyama, bro, he's been absolutely outstanding. Look at Sheldon, do it, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, watch this, Sheldon. Enjoy being on timeout for just at least a minute. I'm gonna let you think about that. Payback, baby. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get these trick or treaters real quick. All right, back to regular schedule programming. Sorry about the little bit of delay there. So yeah, I'll say right now, Victor Wembanyama right now has been impressive to me. He's been the guy right now that is really showing his evolution as a basketball player, because he really went to work this summer, developing his game, his ability to score inside, his ability to create with his handle, shooting the ball from outside, and his ability to dominate the paint and his ability to defend. I mean, you got to remember, Victor worked with Akeem Olajuwon and Kevin Garnett during the summer. And that work with both of those legends are starting to pay off huge dividends. I could see Victor with his post work and his ability to use his footwork, much more improvement than what he was as a rookie and his second year in the league. So yeah, it's basically an unbelievable improvement. Pretty much for the contrary. And so I think that if Victor continues this rapid rate, he might be in discussion for MVP if this continues on. So yeah, he says, "Where's Bobo?" Who the heck knows where Bobo's at, bro? Bobo's a bum, bro. Man, don't get me about Bobo, bro. Talk to me when Bobo actually can start putting some stats. Seriously, talk about Bobo, bro. Man, please. Sheldon, I'm ignoring Bobo, your Bobo comment, because Bobo ain't done nothing. He ain't done absolute nothing. Don't tell me nothing. Bobo can hoop. Yeah, when he wants to, but he's mentally lazy. Keep that in mind. The kid is mentally lazy. Okay? Don't tell me nothing about what Bobo it could be. So his name Trish Fam Trish Amplify 4880. What's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And I'm still waiting for crazy ass Act Reacher to come over here and get some of this work too, because Act Reacher been out here talking greasy. But yeah, he's a huge Knicks fan. So let me just get into the discussion about the people that I want to see in the Eastern Conference. So obviously, you guys know that the conference is wide open right now. But I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So had to take care of these trick or treaters outside that basically been walking around wanting some candy. So y'all know how it is. And yes, Sheldon, I'm telling you, like, listen, I'm a equal person, bro. So don't tell me that I'm a hater when I give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? Listen, Bobo right now needs to show me some right now. That's the only thing he needs to show me some. And he ain't shown anything at this point. I'm telling you. Bobo has not shown anything to me right now. And this is like what? His third year in the league? And he still hasn't even developed into what star he can be. So come on, bro. Don't tell me anything. But let me get back to the Eastern Conference for a second. There you go. So the Eastern Conference right now, as you know, guys know at this point, is basically wide open. So here's some things you guys got to understand. We already know that the conference is basically wide open with all the key injuries from last year's playoffs. So right now, as we see it right now, the Bulls are 5-0. My Chicago Bulls, which I'm happy about, but I know it's not going to last too long. So I'm just going to enjoy it while it's going around. So here's what I will say about what I see from the conference. The team that has disappointed me thus far is the Orlando Magic. I thought the Magic would take a necessary leap to what they were last year. They made huge significant changes and I thought they were going to be much better this year. But unfortunately, they've been a big, huge disappointment to me. I kind of expected the Magic to be better than that. Sit down for a minute, Sheldon. Beat it, bro. Take a minute to chill. You know what I'm saying? Listen, right now, the way I see it from the Eastern Conference, it could go either way right now. But I just think right now the Eastern Conference is just there's just so many unanswered questions. People have even asked me, would the Philadelphia 76ers make it out of the East? The answer to me that is no, because you know that both Paul George and Joel Embiid are going to miss significant time due to injuries. So, looking like right now at this point right here, the way I see it, there's only two teams that I could see. There's only two teams that I could see coming out of the Eastern Conference. And so the two teams I can see here is, and Shelton, You can keep texting me all you want to, and it's not going to make me change my mind. So be quiet. So the two teams that I could see that is going to come out of the Eastern Conference. So the teams that I can see, either the Cleveland Cavaliers or the New York Knicks. Those are the two teams right now. But right now, we're already into the halfway point of the season. And my correction, they're actually, no, I think the Bulls are, this should be, yeah, okay, they're 4-0. Okay. So they're 4-0 right now. My mistake. But it's not going to last long. But I do think when the Western Conference and when the Eastern Conference starts shaping up, I think the teams you're going to see that's going to take those two top tier seeds are going to be the Cavaliers and the Knicks. That's what I see. As far as the Western Conference is concerned, the Western Conference is a different story because we already know how loaded that conference is, and the Thunder right now are off to a tremendous start. That's how it's looking like at this point. And the San Antonio Spurs, I thought this was a team that that was going to make a huge run this year to make themselves a playoff team. They're already ahead of schedule right now, and the young pieces around Wemby, they've been fitting in like a glove, and they're winning games right now, even without De'Aaron Fox right now. Now, if they get De'Aaron Fox back with Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and with Wemby, they're going to be a team that's going to make some noise. And more importantly, they're going to be a team that's going to make a huge run against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference. Now, the two X Factor teams that I could see that could make some noise and probably maybe challenge those two teams, but maybe not beat them, is the Houston Rockets and another team in mind, the Denver Nuggets. Those are the two teams in mind that I think that could give the Spurs and the Thunder a run for their money. Because both these teams, the Rockets have height, they have scoring, and they can basically play interchangeably defensively. But the big problem is going to be is how their backcourt is going to look, because they don't have a point guard right now. And we already know Fred VanVleet is out for the year for the knee injury. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And the Denver Nuggets are a team that made huge changes in the offseason to really add more depth, more shooting, and more athleticism on the front line to help Joker. And so far, so good for them. But we're going to see how it looks at this point. So that's how I kind of look at it. And the Lakers, I'm going to say something about your Lakers, Shelton. The Lakers are already making some noise right now, but I just don't see them coming out of the West. I don't even see them making a huge playoff run because there's still a lot of unanswered questions on their front line. And more importantly, how this team's going to look midway through the season. I just think that the Lakers right now, they're going to be in the playoff mix, but I don't expect them to make a huge playoff run. I just don't. I really don't. So that's how I kind of see it. So that's how I personally kind of see it. So for the new people that is coming in, go ahead and smash the like button and go ahead and share this my live stream here. It's one of the rarest times I'm ever going to talk here on my YouTube live. So, and Sheldon, I'm not hating. I'm giving you the facts, bro. I'm giving you the absolute facts. I'm impressed with, Austin Reeves. He's making a huge splash this year. The way that he's been developing over the last couple of years, he's made huge leaps and bounds this year than at any other time in his career. And this time, Luka's actually getting himself into shape and recognizing that in order for him to be the best player that he can be, you got to get into shape. And this is one of the big reasons why the criticism of him was always his conditioning and fitness. And he took it seriously in the offseason, and he looks absolutely splendid. Now he just got to worry about staying healthy. And obviously, the big elephant in the room is LeBron James. Now, the one thing I'll say about LeBron James is we already know what he's going to give you. But at this point, we don't know if this is going to be the last time he'll play basketball. We don't know how long this is going to go. So we don't know. But obviously, one thing is clear. We know what LeBron is going to give you no matter what. And can he stay healthy after he comes back from his sciatic nerve injury? It remains to be seen. But I do think that the LA Lakers are going to be where they are. But I just don't think they're not going to go anywhere up north. And listen, I'm going to say this right now with DeAndre Ayton. he's on borrowed time. If he don't produce and show some commitment and show some willingness to, perform on that level, his career is over. There's no denying that. Dalton Connect. Listen, Dalton Connect, bro, he's sporadic at times. See, the problem with the Lakers is that they don't give those young guys, enough minutes to see what they can do. But the reason why Austin Reeves has been able to play as a near all-star level is that they allowed him to develop and given him the opportunities. JJ Redick at times has not done that for some of the other young players. So how are they supposed to, perform well? That's what I see. So yeah. So we got 8 people in the building. So let me say this though right now. I want to talk about, the Michael Jordan segment that was on NBC Tuesday night. Now, he did talk about the load management, what his thoughts about it. Now, let me just prepare myself. Let me get some water there because I got a lot to say about that angle. And I was going to do a video about this, but since we're already on live, I think it's the appropriate time to do so. So let me get my water real quick. And don't worry, I'm going to get to your questions in a second. But let me say it like this, though. The thing that I will say about Michael Jordan is that Michael Jordan cares about the game, and he was the kind of player that always wanted to play 100% of the time. That much is true. But here's where I catch him on his hypocrisy. The big thing I catch when I'm in his hypocrisy is when he was the owner of the Charlotte Hornets. He was basically enforcing LaMelo Ball to set out multiple games due to load management to try to get a top tier draft pick. He was doing the same thing with PJ Washington, Mikal Bridges, a lot of those players back then. And another thing too, there were some players in the 90s that did intentionally sat out games, either the fake injuries or whatever, because a lot of them did not want to play against Michael Jordan. Okay? Let's keep this in proper context, okay? There were some guys even back then, and I'm going to start researching this more, but there were a lot of guys in the 90s too that also did intentionally sat out of games. Now, here's the other thing too. The other thing that I think a lot of older basketball fans don't seem to understand here is that a lot of these load management decisions are not controlled by the players. It is the organizations that are the ones who make the decisions. You really think that a lot of these players today would want to sit out multiple games? Absolutely not. A lot of these players want to play. They love the competition of basketball. They always want to get out there and compete and give everything they got on every single game. The issue here is that there are a lot of players that unfortunately that are being handicapped by these organizations that are basically enforcing them to rest multiple games. I'll be right back. I got to take care of these trick-or-treaters. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me check the chat real quick before I continue. Truly Chosen One says, what makes you think the Knicks can beat the Bucks for the 2 spot? Honestly, bro, I don't see the Bucks even making a 2 spot, bro. Like the Bucks right now, like they're playing well at this early stage, but to be honest with you, the Milwaukee Bucks right now are screwed in many different ways. They don't have the necessary draft picks after trading away Drew Holiday and bringing in Damian Lillard. They traded away multiple future first round picks, and now, even though the Bucks made a good signing in getting Miles Turner, I just don't see them even making a 2 seed. I'm sure they'll make the playoffs, but even if they make the playoffs, they're not going to go anywhere. This is one of the reasons why I keep telling people that the Bucks are better off trading Giannis and rebuilding for the future. I know it's a heartbreaking decision to trade away a generational talent like Giannis, but in order for them to rebuild, you're going to have to trade. You're going to have to get assets. You're going to have to. And also for the Knicks too. I think the Knicks right now, they're starting to get their niche a little bit, but the big thing is going to be the injuries. Can Jalen Brunson and Cat and OG Anunoby can stay healthy? That's going to be the big factor. So we got also XA Gucci. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Happy Halloween. Okay, Sheldon. You want 5 minutes? I will give you 5 minutes. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta get these trick-or-treaters. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. So let me finish my point about the Bucks. The Bucks right now, they're just going to be a mediocre team at best. That's just how I see it. And it's nothing against the Bucks or anything like that. They really tried for win now moves, and it's just all backfired. I just don't see them going anywhere. That's just my view. But we'll see how this season progresses. That's how I see it. So, but let me say this though right now. The Celtics right now, they're going to have to answer a lot of questions here because they're going to have to start a lot of retooling. And see, this is what happens when you have second and third tax aprons that's going to really kneecap a lot of these teams from keeping their main figured players for them to continue competing. This is really gonna hurt the NBA in the long term because you're not going to see many players, or I say many teams, attempt going back to back championships because the way that the NBA landscape has changed now. So that's how I say it. He Gucci said, just leave the bowl of candy outside. Nah, man. I gotta keep it with me, bro, because I'm actually in my room right now, but I can still hear the doorbell. But I gotta be the guy to do all the candy stuff. So, but anyway, let me just go back to the Jordan thing real quick. The thing that I don't like about the one thing I don't like what Jordan talked about is that he thinks that a lot of it is a lot of the load management decisions goes down on the players, but it's not. A lot of it is down on the organizations, and they use that load management thing to a science. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can guarantee you that if you ask maybe one out of every five players, a lot of them would say they rather just keep on playing every single game rather than just sitting multiple games. That's just how I see it, and that's how a lot of them tend to feel. And I think that with the exception of Joel Embiid, because his body is pretty much torn up to bits, and Kawhi Leonard, who's basically abuses it to a science now where it's just a complete embarrassment. Like, if we're going to talk about load management, research about it, what it actually entails, and what it is. I just think a lot of the older generation of fans don't have an understanding, or they're just too ignorant to see what's the issue with that. And more importantly, who is making those decisions. I don't think a lot of NBA players want to be on load management throughout their entire careers. I think a lot of them would rather try to attempt to play every single game. And if they're hurt, then legitimately they would have to sit out and basically get their injuries treated. But I just think that what Jordan said was pretty much disingenuous in my view. So that's how I kind of see it. So anyway, I'll just say, let me go back to my predictions of the Eastern Conference. So again, the teams that I can see coming out of the East, Cleveland and New York. And I know Agreach is going to come around here and say, "Oh, you got the Knicks now coming out of the East." Listen, if there's any other time to come out of the East right now, especially in this wide open Eastern Conference, it's this year. I think if the Celtics retool their roster as soon as Jason Tatum comes back, I think the Celtics will be back on track again to possibly retake the throne. So that's just basically what I think. Look at Sheldon right here. He says, NBA will put your hands and feet on your real weak. Uh-huh. Sure. Okay, Sheldon. Here, take a minute to think about that, you fool. That's right, you dang fool. I'm going to keep timing you out if you say some more BS. If you ain't got nothing good to say, I'm going to keep timing you out, fool. S.A. Gucci says no. No on what? Just ask me what you think about it. That's X.A. Gucci. So, but I just think right now, the way the NBA looks right now, it could be better. And I think that the NBA is, in terms of the gameplay, I think the NBA is in a better place now than what it was decades ago. The 2010s was just absolutely ridiculous, loaded with talent, but also a lot of super teams. Now, I think that the super team era is pretty much on pause for this decade. Seguche says Boston. Okay, you think Boston? Do you think their run is finished? I think the Celtics may have one more opportunity left, even though despite losing some of their key pieces. But I think that at this point they've already won their championship, so they actually succeeded what they set out to do. But we'll see what they come up with. I think Anthony Simmons would still be a good contributing player, but there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions when Jason Tatum comes back. Is he going to be the same player? And can Jaylen Brown elevate this game to another level? So we'll see what happens from there. But I do believe, in my personal opinion, I do believe that the Celtics could make another run in the near future. I just don't think not right now, of course. So, but now let me get into the gambling situation. The big NBA's gambling situation. Now, for those who are new to the channel, I've already made a couple of videos about that whole gambling situation, and it's a really, really a big mess. Now, let me just say it like this, though, guys. I think people are missing out the fact that the NBA right now at this particular point is monopolized with these gambling companies. You already guys know who they are at this point. But the problem is going to be, what is the league going to do about it? And their unwillingness to address the problem is very, very, very disappointing and very, very concerning. Because, listen, we're at the point in the NBA right now where gambling is legalized now. And you turn around and said you don't have, your investigation found out nothing on Terry Rozier and other players around the league. But then all of a sudden, the FBI was able to find a lot of incriminating evidence, and specifically when it comes to mafia ran. On a side note, the one thing that I really get annoyed by this stupid FBI led by Mashed Potatoes Cash Patel, how they're trying to paper this as like an NBA scandal, not understanding that it was a mafia ran scandal that was associated by NBA players. And yet you want to plaster these NBA players as the main villains in this whole situation. Like, really, get the F out of here with that. So I will say that at this particular point, the NBA is going to have to really address this issue. You're already on borrowed time with the whole Kawhi Leonard contract tampering situation with the Clippers. I just don't think that the NBA is going to do much about it, in my view. And if Adam Silver is going to be remembered as a very good commissioner, he has to put his foot down on this and get to the bottom of it. Because if he doesn't, this is going to hurt his legacy as a commissioner for a very long time. I mean, there have been some people that have basically been complaining about the whole TV deal situation. I don't have a problem with it. And actually, the broadcasting has been much more improved, for both NBC and Amazon Prime. It's far better than ESPN, I'll tell you that. But at this point, I think that right now, the NBA has to address their gambling issues. They has to address their salary cap issues. If they don't get those things addressed and figured out within the next few years, there's going to be more future problems down the line. And the way that I've been watching Adam Silver basically passively aggressively answering questions about, well, we couldn't find much to find on both those situations. I really, really believe that Adam Silver is not going to put his foot down hard on it. Now, his predecessor, David Stern, to be honest with you, his predecessor, David Stern, had to deal with this before when he was commissioner. We saw how he dealt with it when it came to Michael Jordan and his gambling stuff in 1992, 1993. We saw him deal with it when it came to the whole Tim Donaghy situation in 2007. So it's not like the NBA has not dealt with, gambling problems before. It has. But at least I saw David Stern make the effort to try to address these problems. Remember, this is the same commissioner that had to enforce the dress code, and because of the fact that you had racist, corporations labeling the players as like quote unquote the T word. Okay, we've seen this before, and we've also seen the commissioner basically put his foot down when it came to the drug problem in the early '80s and in the early '80s. That basically kneecapped a lot of the NBA back then. And we also saw David Stern address the television issue when a lot of the games were on tape delay in the 70s. So Adam Silver has to put his foot down on this. If he doesn't, it's going to really hurt his legacy as a commissioner. And a lot of fans, they want to support the product, but it's getting more and more difficult. And especially when you look around, when you see FanDuel, you see DraftKings, you see MGM, advertisements and on gambling all over the place, not just on regular sports telecasts like in the MLB, the NFL, NHL, and the NBA, but also in your favorite sports podcasts. You see FanDuel, you see DraftKings, you see all sorts of these gambling companies labeled on these podcasts, and it's so out of control. Every single time I've had to watch, when I watch an old game or watching a podcast, or let's say Nightcap, for example, I get these advertisements of gambling companies everywhere, especially when it comes down to broadcasting, sports leagues. FanDuel now is basically monopolized a lot of these sports leagues now, to where you have to have a FanDuel subscription to watch a lot of these games. So, for example, if I want to basically watch the Timberwolves play throughout the regular season, I had to pay $15 a month for a FanDuel subscription. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Or even worse yet, if I decide, and let me pull up my pad real quick, because I want to make sure we get this right. So for FanDuel subscriptions, okay? For FanDuel subscription, I know that you get charged $15 a month for these NBA subscriptions to watch some of your NBA games, or also your favorite NHL and MLB games. Now, the NFL is different because they mostly play on Sundays. But if you want to watch games on Thursday nights, you need to have an Amazon Prime subscription. And if you want to watch games on Christmas, you got to have a Netflix subscription. So, fees. So, subscription fees right here. Subscription here. Subscription fee. I'm typing this on Google right now. So let me check it out right here. Okay. So Gexay Kuj says gambling's out of control. Absolutely. He also says bet $5 to win $300 in a bonus bet. Right. Yeah, that's all you hear on TV, and it's effing annoying. Absolutely, bro. Everywhere. And the worst part is, you guys, is that the fact that Adam Silver said that you can use your TV remote control on your television screen and use parental guiding censorship or whatever to try to block out a lot of these gambling companies and advertisers from your viewing experience. Like, stop. Has nothing to do about censoring us, this and that. This is an issue about how far are you willing to go with these gambling companies. Now, I just pulled this up right now. So the subscription for a FanDuel Sports Network here in Minnesota is basically $19.99 per month, which is basically $20. But you also can have a yearly subscription that basically costs around $125 a month. Now, for here in Minnesota, obviously we pay $19.99 per month. Now, if you want to pay for throughout the whole year, get this. You paying $180 the whole year to basically watch Twins games, Wild games, and Timberwolves games. Now, think about this for a moment. How does that? You're basically telling these people that you are going to make these customers pay $20 a month to watch any of your local sports teams, professional teams, right? Yet you want us to buy into the fact that now we can't see some of these games on local TV. Man, get the F out of here with that. It's become absolutely ridiculous. And it's the lovely Tay Brown. And no, Tay, I'm not going to bed. It's way too early to go to bed in Minnesota. Maybe it's a little late for you because you're from New York. But let me tell you something, Tay, when I come down to New York, it's on. Hang on, y'all. I got to get these trick-or-treaters real quick. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. And no, Tay, I'm giving them Skittles. Okay, you want me to show you what I'm giving them? Okay, let me turn on this camera real quick. Okay, let me flip this. Okay, take a look at this right here. We got Starburst and Skittles. That's what I'm giving the trick-or-treaters tonight. I'm giving them one of these, and one of these. Okay? So, I'm giving them, clean candy. All right? Tay Brown says, when it comes to New York, you better sit down somewhere. Oh, what? Tay, I'm not scared of your New York energy. I've already been around you for the last 2 years. You really think I'm scared of that energy? Woman, please. Please. Stop with the nonsense. Please. Good grief. Before I come up there and give you some of that hold on. I got something for you, Tay. Since you already got on my nerves. Watch this. All right, I'm gonna show you something, Tay. You want to come in here with this New York attitude? Okay. Okay. You want to see something, Tay? Okay. You got it. See this belt right here? See this belt right here? Watch this. That's right. See this belt right here? Keep messing with me, Tay. I'm gonna put you in your place if you keep that up. You better chill out somewhere. You better chill. You better chill out right now, Tay. And no, there's some people that are allergic to chocolate, okay? I wasn't gonna give them no dang chocolate, okay? Oh, you said, oh, please go to bed. No, you need to go to bed because you're the one that comes around here with that BS. You're the one who comes around here with that. And now all of a sudden you say, oh, go to bed, behind. Get to bed. Woman, please. You just want to sit around here and talk nonsense. I'm trying my hardest to talk basketball, and you come over here with this nonsense. Yo, New York Knicks suck. Yo, Giants suck. Yo, Yankees suck. Yo, Mets suck. The Islanders suck. And who else sucks? Oh yeah, the New York Rangers suck. There, I suck this all your favorite sports teams. Now, do you want to say something else? I'm telling you, you need to behave. You need to behave, Tay Brown. You crazy lady. I'm trying to talk basketball here, and now you already ruined the conversation. Thank you very much. Let me get some water real quick. Yeah. Tay's crazy. All right. Where was I again? Oh, yes. Back to my original discussion here before I was rudely interrupted by the crazy Tay Brown. Okay. My issue for the NBA is this. My issue for the NBA is going to be how are they going to address the gambling issue? And this is the very first time that Adam Silver is being tested by this. The same Adam Silver that's now considering expanding the league to Europe. Think about this for a moment. Adam Silver wants to compete with the Euro leagues in Europe, and he wants to expand the league to Europe. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. It really makes no sense. It really doesn't. Look at this. I'm telling Ack. Ack was supposed to be here in his live stream. He's supposed to be here listening to me. But it's obvious to me that he's maybe busy playing video games right now, Tay. You can reach out to him. Let him know that I'm here. I'm on live right now. If you want. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So, yeah, the big issue is going to be for the gambling thing. It's going to be running rampant when it's all said and done. So, I just think right now at this point, the NBA is going to have to really address this very, very hard. And they better stop thinking about other topics right now when you got two problems on your hand with the Kawhi Leonard situation and with the gambling situation. That's how I think about it, man. So, yep. That's all the stuff I got about when it comes to the NBA stuff. So, I'm obviously going to do some more video work, during the weekend. Oh, and by the way, too, I'm also going to be turning 33 this upcoming Monday, too, as well. So stay tuned for that. And I might drop a video or drop another live stream just talking about all my journey throughout my life. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this down for now because I gotta make sure that I finish out the rest of this Halloween candy and let these little kids know, go away, But anyway, y'all stay safe on this Halloween, man. Y'all be careful. Y'all stay safe out there in these streets. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Y'all be smooth. Y'all take care, guys. Peace.